Welcome to a new update. In this update we are once again going to look at the price action of Bitcoin, why it's extremely bullish at this point, and we're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance to see where we stand, as on Saturday we're going to provide you with an update on altcoins, including my altcoin portfolio. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also make sure to join our public Discord where you can get more content. I'll do AMAs, you can ask me everything, you can get chart requests, and every 2 weeks you get one trade ID to see what is inside the premium. So make sure to do that. Now, there's also a big announcement today, as finally, after a few years of preparation, we have got a new company's name, which is MN Trading. We've got a new website, which is mntrading.com. We've got a new office, which we are currently moving on to, as we are moving away from Beursplein 5, the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, towards the Zuidas, which is also pretty well known in Amsterdam, as we are exploring new products with a partner as well. And today, it's the day that the Crypto 101 course, which is the first course, is going to be live. And I'm giving you a slight insight into the course, which is providing you with information that you can see on the charts or on the computer, on the website. It's all integrated. You can just buy it today, or if when you want to start with the core, with your crypto journey, you can buy it and then you can just watch it instantly. It's more than 7 hours of content, and as you can see on the screen, it includes 10 modules. Don't worry, there are more chapters in there. There are 10 modules which provides you with everything you need: history of Bitcoin and money, insights on Ether, overview of crypto ecosystem. So let's get to that, where you can just easily see all the chapters that we have: DAO, DeFi, NFTs, metaverse and gaming, stable coins. You click on those. I have already watched them, so I can just easily go back, where you can find a document included in the chapter, a tip from my side, and then you can watch the entire video, which you can do here. The concept of a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, is relatively straightforward. It typically begins with a core team of community members who create smart contracts. And that is the part of a DAO. Don't worry, there is also more hands-on content which you can use, because we are going to have security on wallets. You can start your portfolio. You get an introduction into TA, FA, and an introduction into mindset and social media, which is all included here. There's in the introduction of TA, we discuss candlesticks, patterns, how you use TradingView, how I use TradingView, which platforms I use. There are a ton of topics in there. All is ready to be watched if you want to join, and if you want to get yourself started into the crypto journey. Now, when we talk about the crypto journey, the first topic that I would like to address today is the fact that we've got the market Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance are going in cycles. Markets are going into cycles, through which bottoms are defined when people are actually really bearish on the markets, and tops are defined when people are actually really bullish on the markets. And that is the case for everything in the markets, including Bitcoin dominance charts, including altcoin bottoms, including all those aspects, through which we can see nowadays that many people are expecting the altcoins to actually continue falling down because of the regulatory framework. Well, as a matter of fact, we are getting into the phase where the arguments for such bearishness are definitely aligning with the sentiment on the markets right now. Well, on the other hand, it provides you with the exact opposite, which is interesting investment thesis for the altcoins. So with the Bitcoin dominance, we can find ourselves into a few important key meshes or instruments that we could be using to define our actually strategy at this point. And then we are moving towards the DXY, the total market cap, and Bitcoin, to round off where we are standing with the markets at this point. So the Bitcoin dominance chart in itself is currently showing us a similarity to the cycle that we had in 2019. And also when you align it with the period that we had in 2016, here we had the Bitcoin halving, the peak of the altcoins. I'll just put it on, I should have put it on log scale, but it's hard to find. So first of all, 2015, 2016, the halving took place in June of 2016. After the halving, Bitcoin price dropped, Ether launched, and that's when you start seeing this drop on the dominance for Bitcoin. The actual peak of the dominance has been found in November of 2015, which is approximately 8 to 10 months before the halving took place on Bitcoin. Then we all know it started to drop massively, etc., etc. Now in June of 2020, also the same period, we have seen a case of the Bitcoin dominance, or at least the Bitcoin halving, which took place here. Here we've had a peak in August of 2019 until December 2019, which is a period of 5 to 6 months, in which there are two arguments. August, which is approximately 10 to 12 months prior to the halving, or 8 to 10 months before the halving took place, we have seen that there was a peak in the Bitcoin dominance, which May was the halving 10 months prior. A second argument we can find here is the fact that we are seeing a rejection around the 200-week MA and a 200-week EMA, including being into this period of above 70 for the RSI. Going into the current cycle, we see the exact same arguments. So we are getting into June of 2023, which is 10 months prior to the halving of 2024, which is in April, which is 10 months before. We're getting into the 200-week MA and EMA, and we're getting into the RSI above 70, through which the sentiment is currently also that altcoins are going to be sold off even more, which is usually a period where they start to round off, or at least have their periods that they come back down again before we start to have some sort of consolidation and have the actual period that altcoins relatively do well when Bitcoin consolidates, as the entire market sentiment and investment thesis starts to shift slightly, which is currently the case. Cycles go hand in hand, which means that what happened in the previous cycle usually happens in this cycle. Given the fact that institutional investors are jumping into the markets, it seems right that we are going to have a pretty similar cycle to 2015 to 2017, and also in some way 2019, 2021. And if you believe that, then we're getting into a period where the altcoins are getting into the stage where they are most likely finding their top, where you can also argument that we can actually start investing into those. And there's another argument, which is the fact that ETH might not be a security. That news has to come soon too. XRP might not be a security. That news might come soon too. So that sentiment can switch quite fast, but data is already providing you the investment thesis that you want. Through that, with this increase of the Bitcoin dominance, it gives you all the arguments. Looking at the DXY at this point, we can clearly see that we are into some period of sideways consolidation, in which the trend is down, and also the Fed is getting towards the end stage of the policy, which means that the Fed is getting towards the end stage. The hiking mostly has been done, maybe two more. Chances are that we're not going to get it. If we are not going to get it, we probably are going to balloon up with the markets. That's what they want actually. They don't want the markets to crash because they are into bigger problems at that point. Most likely they will continue printing too. Then we've got a period of, let's say, 3 to 6 months until the recession kicks in. So what we see with the markets at this point for the DXY is that we're currently trending down. We are making lower highs. We have been smashing support, and currently we're just into a sideways period in which it most likely will result into testing the lows, continue falling down, which means that the continuation on the stock markets is also there. Very similar to this previous correction and continuation afterwards, and also to the previous periods. There will most likely be corrections taking place here. They will be relatively shallow, given that we have got those here too. And that ultimately can result into continuation on the stock markets, also leading into continuation on the markets for Bitcoin. As right now we have lost the correlation with gold for a little bit, as Bitcoin is way stronger. Reasoning is super simple for that. Bitcoin has been seeing a pretty heavy correction here already, has been lagging behind. Currently we're seeing strength on the Bitcoin price because of all the institutional investors jumping into the markets, and I think gold is on the edge of jumping back in too. Total market cap. What do we see? We do see a case of an upwards trending market, which is currently the case, right? So we can see that there is the weekly time frame with the 200 week MA and the 200 week EMA. We broke back above. We had a sweep here. We are making higher lows, higher highs. So we are aiming for a new higher high in the coming quarter to be established, through which we can derive the target here 1.6 to 2.12. Somewhere here we're going to top out before we are going to have another swift correction, which we always have, then a period consolidation before we start to expand again. That's what we're going to get here, which is similar to the price action of Bitcoin, which is just consolidating here. We can still have a correction of a pullback here if the doji is confirmed. We don't need to. If we continue to push above 32k to 33k, that's when I start to become conservative. But if we have a slight correction to, let's say, 28.5 on the markets here in the coming week before we start to expand ourselves, then we can still conclude that we are into an uptrend continuation, targeting 40k before we start to have a correction. That's the update for today. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you again on Saturday. Ciao.